Hey everybody, it's John, and I'm here with my friend Sam from Wilderness Tactical Products. And okay, today's video is going to maybe feel a little bit like a commercial, but it's not, okay? I want to talk to you about how I pick a gun belt and how I pick my ankle kit, and then why I choose Wilderness Tactical for it. Today's video is brought to you by the generosity of Newbold targets. Newbold targets are self-sealing, reactive polymer targets that act like steel targets for training and practice, but are safer than steel. They allow bullets to pass completely through the target without ricochet or lead splatter. Check out their links in the description and thank them for bringing us today's video. So Sam, thanks for letting us crash your joint.
Oh my gosh, thanks for coming. This is awesome.
And so you and I met at, I think it was a USCCA Expo a couple years ago when we finally...
Well, you had been in to get some Velcro replaced or something on your belt, or get a smaller belt. And
that's
then
right.
USCCA in Kentucky, and...
Actually, I think it was a bigger belt. It was when John was getting fatter, not when John was getting skinnier. Just true, right? So we're here at the belt wall. And again, there's other folks, you know, there's plenty of good belts out there. But... you know what? I think there's something about the Wilderness belt that I adore. So again, I'm wearing a Wilderness Tactical frequent flyer, right? So this is a reinforced frequent flyer that I wear every day. Literally the whole crew wears these belts, okay? So by that I mean Stephanie, our XL, is wearing one. Neil, our Director of Marketing and Sales, is wearing one. Mrs. Asp is wearing one. This is what we wear. Why is this belt so darn good?
When Ralph first developed the belt, when he was doing high angle rope, it started with the instructor belt.
So the instructor, I have an instructor. I've worn one of these as well.
Yes.
Went to the frequent flyer because I get on a plane so much.
Yes. Well, he needed a belt that he could clip in an emergency and have it as a backup. Well, and as well as carry a gun, because he was on the Maricopa County Sheriff's Posse's Mountain Rescue Team. So he sourced a parachute buckle, which has been around forever.
Yeah.
And then it led to getting our own nylon. So basically, that is woven and dyed to our specs. So it's never shelf pull. Nobody else has it.
Okay.
So we figured out how to make that belt last forever. So that's part of it. The belt isn't made with resins to make it stiff, which then break down over time. We figured out how to not do that.
It's just made of nylon that's not going to break down over time.
Right.
And then stitched such a way that it's going to last. I've told you this, okay? So I've told you this. The problem with these is they're made so darn well that you don't get repeat business because the stinking belt lasts a lifetime.
Yeah, we forgot to work in obsolescence. It's a problem.
It's a problem. Now, I carry the frequent flyer.
Yeah,
and nice thing for that is somebody who has TSA pre-check. You don't got to take your belt off. You're not really worried about it. This one, of course, with an instructor buckle on it, is going to set off the metal detectors.
Yes.
But this one's not because it's all plastic.
Right, right. And it's Delrin, so it's a real strong plastic. And I think in the 20 years we've been making that belt, we had one back because somebody said, look, it wasn't even your fault. I ran it over. Or something crazy. But that's... Yeah, you don't rappel with it. It's not for life support like the other one in an emergency. But, yeah, when you don't need that, this belt is perfect.
I mean, you look at this, and it stands on its own, right?
Yeah.
So
and that's the least rigid that we
This is the least rigid one they have, and it's still, you know, I'm just holding it together by that buckle, and it'll stand on its own. And if you get, you know, you get the reinforced ones, and even more so, man, they'll just, they're, I mean, gracious sakes, the thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, the combat shooters model has a piece of polymer in it. And which is what you wear. Sure,
and this, you know, with the reinforcement in it, is designed particularly to handle a firearm on.
Yeah.
And I see this all the time. I see people that okay, they buy a $500 gun. They even go so far as to buy, you know, an expensive holster.
Right.
And then they put it on a Ross belt.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. And they go, gosh, I can't get concealment, John, and I can't do X, and I can't do. I buy a decent belt. What's a great belt like this cost?
I believe that one's like $43 or something like that. 48.
$43. $48.
Yeah.
You need to raise your prices.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so now I also want to look at, now again, I have that on. I also always have my ankle kit, right? So I wasn't playing with that one. This is my everyday ankle kit, okay? And I wear it everywhere I go. People always ask me about it. How do I keep medical equipment on me? How do I keep medical equipment on me? This is how, so let's go take a look at it. All right, so a moment of pride for John. So you and I talked about this one, and I love the cargo ankle cuff. And I actually asked you to make a change on this. This is one of the cool things about working with local companies, is I said, look, I love these Leatherman Raptors. But the way that it was before was a little low, and I couldn't clip them in as well.
Yep, it was
and you guys
much
just
shorter.
instantly changed that. And here, this is the change. Awesome. So tell us why you guys designed this one.
Well, that was designed by U.S. Palm,
Yes.
along with an agency. And it was something that they needed for some specific needs, and we manufactured it for them.
So it was a private label.
Exactly. And then we also manufactured it with our label along with theirs and sold it here. So now that U.S. Palm Nylon Division is gone, we've kept manufacturing them, and here they are. So that had some really knowledgeable hands that were into that design.
It works so well for me. I mean, it really does. Now, here's an interesting one. We hadn't talked about this one a whole lot because this isn't the full cargo ankle cuff.
Right.
This is a little bitty guy that only has one pouch in it, particularly for a tourniquet.
Right. That's if you don't have the need for the rest of that, or maybe you don't have the pant width.
Girth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just call me fat like that?
No.
Just called me out. Dang.
Wouldn't do that. So this one holds basically the cat, which is the biggest to put in there, and then the soft T-wide, and the whatever. This holds all of the...
Right, so it'll hold a tourniquet, a quality tourniquet,
Yes.
which of course we either say a cat or a soft T-wide. Those are your choices. Period, end of subject. Cat or soft T-wide. This will hold either one in a very compact package.
Yes, and with this elastic, this is the same elastic that's made with that and a lot of our other accessories. We sourced, it took us forever to find this this elastic, this heavy-duty elastic that won't break down.
Perfect. Now, there is one too. Do you have one? You do over here. Let's go look because there's a pocket solution too. So I also like, and again, we've talked about carrying spare mags and all that stuff, and it's so funny because Ralph, who founded the company, he chastised me when I was in here when I said I didn't carry a spare magazine. He thought that was anathema. Okay, he was really frustrated with me about that. And was like, no, you need a pocket holster right now. Get that stuff done. I need a spare magazine on you. It's so funny. And then he gave me a hard time about not carrying a backup gun too, because that's Ralph, right?
Yeah.
He's one of my hiking buddies. But I like this little pocket carrier because, okay, if you want to stuff a spare mag in it, that's a double stack, or you could stick a single stack in there, real easy too, but also fits a soft T-wide.
Right.
And so again, this is a great summertime solution, right? So if you're like, I can't do that, yeah, I got a little
Fits
cargo
exactly.
pocket, boink, stick right in there or whatever. Even if you don't have that, if I wasn't just gonna have the one in here, I fold that over, stick it in my back pocket so I have my soft tee is always there. Now, you might say, wait a minute, if I only have one, why would I put it in this? Well, because it stays folded the way you want.
Yeah.
Instead of having to refold it every day to stick it in your back pocket, this is a way that you can keep that on you. And I mean, these are cheap.
Yeah, those are $19. And frankly, if you have a flashlight or a knife, or a flashlight and a knife and a spare mag, or maybe no spare mags and just the other things, it keeps them oriented.
Keeps them where you want them in that moment, so then that way you don't lose them. And again, if you're only going to carry one, I don't mind if you carry a spare mag. That doesn't bother me at all. But if you're carrying a spare mag and not carrying some medical equipment on you, you're wrong. Okay? It's funny. I don't know if you've read the book. I just am finishing reading the Warnings Unheeded about the dual tragedies at Fairchild, and they're talking about an active murderer on Fairchild Air Force Base and the number of extremity wounds, which just blew me away. And I'm just screaming in my head going, nobody there's carrying a tourniquet. Nobody there, and people are dying because of it. So this is a great solution. Stick in your pocket, those kind of things. And yeah, you can put, even sticking, like a lot of cars now, you don't have to take the key out and use it. So it's a fob or something, stick the fob in there, and then that way everything is always where you need it.
Yeah.
Great solution.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you to do something that, this is a big ask, but one of the cool things that I love about the Wilderness is the fact that you make stuff here.
Yeah.
You're not ordering stuff from overseas and getting big batches, right? In fact, we were sitting here and you made a new belt for, was it for Stephanie or for Laura? It was for Laura. So we were trying to find a belt for my wife, the right belt for her for concealed carry. They didn't have it on the shelf, and so Sam was like, give me 10 minutes. And we made it. Can we go see how they're made?
Yeah, let's see how they're made. Pardon the mess, but
It's like going into someone's house, right? You don't go to see the mess, you go to see the people.
Yep. And you can see them eat lunch, too.
I mean, of course, that's how you do it.
Yeah, so back here is where
the magic happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love this. I think some places talk about made in the USA, and there's like this minimum spec, but that minimum spec is not, we order in the nylon and then make everything in-house.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's got to be difficult, though, to find people that can do this kind of work well.
It is difficult, and we hold on to them with all our might.
Yeah,
when we
no,
get
you're not
them.
allowed to
Yes,
go.
yes, we have some awesome people. Awesome people.
Well, let's show us how one is made.
So we cut them down, we hang them up, and we have a proprietary blend on the end where it won't fray.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's that's super secret.
Super top secret.
It's super top secret. And then we get them to a certain stage where we can take, because of the 2 different belts, or 3 if you count the titanium, the 3 different widths if you count the 3rd width added to the frequent flyer, the 3 different colors and the 3 different models and the infinite number of sizes. We get them to a certain point and then we make them, because it would be quite hard to keep
Sure,
a
to get
stock.
everything.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But, I mean, if they're going to you have your nylon maker make you that nylon anyways, make it to these specs, and here's kind of how we need it.
Right, and then we get them in big rolls, and then we just cut them and dip them and yeah.
And rock them.
And
Let's go
rock
see
them.
how they get
Yeah.
stitched.
This is a 3-stitch instructor belt that she's putting together there. That is going to be a 3-stitch, right? Yep. Yeah. And so she is adding the Velcro to that. She's covering up a second piece of nylon on there, and which is one. It kind of answers a question of why we can't just cut down a size, and we have to put a whole new belt on it, because there's stuff under there that we've covered up, and it has to do with also the sizing. So it's like re-engineering a belt where we really just cutting it off and
Right.
making you the new size is the way to go.
Is the way to go.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So I hear you use this for a 3-stitch versus a 5-stitch. Obviously, that's the number of stitchings across the belt.
Right, and the 5-stitch makes a 3-stitch a little more vertically rigid. It just adds a little more vertical rigidity.
And so, if somebody hasn't already figured that out and they don't know already, how would they choose between the two? Is it just preference?
It is literally preference. The 3-stitch was what was around for years before we ever even came up with the 5-stitch.
So the 5-stitch is just like, oh, you want even more rigidity. Okay,
Exactly.
we'll get it for you.
Exactly.
And you might even put the insert inside it. You know what I mean? If you want the plastic insert to even more rigidity.
Right, right. So the CSM looks like a 3-stitch, but it has the polymer
insert
inside.
in it.
Yep.
This is cool, guys. This is how this stuff is made. So I just really think this kind of stuff is awesome, because this is why I carry it, right? And this is why we became friends.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that. So
So am I.
where are folks going to buy your stuff?
They can come to our website, thewilderness.com, or give us a call and we can tell you if there is a dealer in your area that carries anything.
Best way,
We love
easiest
our
way?
dealers. We love our dealers. You can walk right in and try it on.
Yeah. Best way, though, thewilderness.com. You did a great job. You were good. Thank you for letting us invade